Hi guys, this is Han. Welcome to another Hoya unboxing video. In this video, I'm really excited to share the purchases with you because there are two Hoyas that I have been waiting to receive. And I'm just really excited because I think Gardino Nursery, they did an amazing and a really great job with my purchase. And everything just came much better than I expected. I know that sometimes some plants come a little bit smaller than anticipation, but I think what they try to do, at least for me in my order, is, with multiple plants or multiple Hoyas, they always try to, in my experience, have one Hoya that kind of surprises you in a really good way. So the first purchase from Gardino Nursery is the Hoya Curtisii. All right, so this Hoya Curtisii, I believe it's in a 6-inch pot. It was, I think, $30 or $35. I'll list the price in the description, but some of the leaves have started becoming a little bit yellow, and that's my fault. This purchase came about a week ago, and honestly, I've just been a little bit lazy with with removing all of the paper that surrounds the pot during packaging, and I didn't water this Hoya Curtisii until yesterday. So the yellowing leaves is definitely my fault, but that's not a problem then, since there's only a few. And you know what, honestly, fall is coming anyways, so I don't mind a few really beautiful and tiny yellow leaves. This pot, it's of Hoya Curtisii. It's very, very full. It was beautifully shipped because nothing really fell out, and it's just so adorable. In regards to Hoya Curtisii, I think it's definitely a much better purchase than what I purchased from Etsy a month and a half ago. I had bought two very small cuttings, and I think there were $7 or $10, but they were unbrooded and they were very small compared to this. So if you're able to buy a larger Hoya, at a little bit more than cost, I think you definitely should, since Hoyas, they still take months and months to grow. So I'm really excited about this purchase. She's going to look really adorable trailing down. And with the holidays coming, what I might do is I might put some lights at the top or just around here so she can trail down. She's so adorable. This next purchase here, or this next Hoya, it's Hoya Incrassata Moonshadow. So this one, it's a little bit smaller than what I expected, but that's perfectly fine because I think the other plants made up for this. But this one, I wasn't familiar with a Hoya Incrassata Moonshadow. So when the sale was going on, or when they did the restocking, I was trying to Google and do Instagram search of what the plant would look like. And so with the variation in the colors, it really reminds me a lot of Hoya Crimson Princess. And please keep in mind, I'm rather new to the Hoya world, so I don't have a lot of Hoyas in my collection, but from my limited experience, the variegation does look a lot like Hoya Crimson Princess to me. The leaves are not super thick and succulent. I gave it a little bit of water yesterday, but I think it's still a little dry, so I need to give it a little bit more. The leaves are durable and strong. Yeah, but it's not very succulent, so I have to probably keep a more tight eye on this one to ensure that I water it correctly, versus letting it dry out completely like the other ones where the leaves are thicker. I don't have too much to say about this Hoya, just because I really haven't done a lot of research into what it looks like other than that day of purchase, and it wasn't really on my wish list or anything, so I don't have too much excitement about this. But the price was affordable, the price was good, and the blooms look really pretty, and I'm excited to have another variegated Hoya in my collection. All right, this next Hoya here is Hoya Butanica. So with Hoya Butanica, I've been wanting it for the last couple of weeks because if you can see one of the leaf here, this leaf and this leaf, they're the most mature. Oh, and this little one down here. But this one, it looks like the most mature of the bunch. And you can see that it's starting to turn a little bit more of a darker purplish color. And I've seen, photos of it online when the leaves are sun-stressed, and it's so gorgeous. Hence the reason why I bought Hoya Butanica. I was actually going to buy another cutting of it before purchasing this from Etsy. But then, calculating the shipping costs and things like that, I thought that Gardino Nursery, the purchase here makes more sense for me. And the plant is, a pretty good size as well. And also, if you look at it, there's a small baby growth here with a leaf. And then it looks like there are 2 peduncles on here. And then I think this is a peduncle as well. So 3 peduncles on this plant. I'm really excited to, get something for it to trail here and to see the growth of this Hoya Butanica. Most importantly, I really want to see the change of colors when the leaves have been sun-stressed. She's very pretty. Yeah, I like the veinings as well, and the long and elongated leaves. This next Hoya, I'm sure everyone already has 1 or 2 or 3 in their collection, but I really appreciate how much Gardino Nursery, how much time, or just I'm really appreciative of the fact that they, gave me this Hoya Crimson Queen in such a beautiful way. She's incredibly beautiful just because I love how long she is, the leaves and the trailing. In addition, if you see, there are some pink colors here. Like reminds you of a strawberry milkshake. And then some pinks and whites here as well. And then this one is mostly a lot of white. And then, I'm sorry, not white, but the variegation, green, and then like creamy white-ish yellow around here. So I actually bought 2 orders of, or 2 Hoya Curtisii Crimson Queen, one for my mom and one for myself. Really affordable. It was only $15. It's really affordable. On top of that, the color variegations are so beautiful, with the new leaves being, strawberry peach. You have the white variegation, you have the greens here, and then everything just trails so beautifully. The leaves are not super thick, but then they're not super thin either. And then I've heard that they're really fast growers as well and easy to care for. So gorgeous. I think she's one of my favorites in the Hoya collection that I currently have. I just really, really love the colors. She's so beautiful. And then also on top of that, it looks like there is a peduncle here. And then there's one here as well. I might need to give her a little bit more water. The new growth, this one is starting to curl up a little bit. But yeah, she's such a beautiful beauty, and I love how long she is as well. Speaking of this, I also had purchased a Hoya Crimson Queen cutting from Etsy. And she was this small, and I think it was like $10 or something, this small. And she hasn't really grown for me at all, so probably this one will do much better. I'm just really excited. I love her. I think she was the first Hoya that I had ever purchased a couple years ago. I had a Hoya collection, but then I was pregnant, and my pregnancy was a little bit difficult, and so I wasn't able to maintain and take care of the plants, so they died. All right, the last one that you see here is my Hoya Pachyclada. It's just the normal one. However, there is, I believe, also the Hoya Pachyclada Red and the Hoya Pachyclada Albo Marginata. That's the one I really want to get, the Albo Marginata. She looks so beautiful with the variegation. This one, I first heard of Hoya Pachyclada when I was doing a little bit of research on YouTube. And so I found two YouTube channels, and they were in Vietnam. And so they had one had a very mature Hoya Pachyclada that was, that was a little bit long. Two very, very mature Hoya Pachycladas, but the way that they grew their Hoya Pachycladas, almost as if there were bonsais. So one was more of a bonsai structure. The other one, he had a big giant pot with a very big tree stem. And the way the tree stem kind of, it's like wavy, you know, the structure of the tree. And then he had his Hoya Pachyclada growing along that trunk. And so it was so gorgeous. This one, I love the leaves. The leaves are so thick, very succulent. And then on top of that, the best thing about this Hoya Pachyclada is the structure. I just love the way that she flows. It's so beautiful. And I love the fact that she has a shape, right? So she's not like falling over or, you know, spiking up and down, but she has her own shape. And I love the way that she trails. One other reason that I really appreciate this purchase from from Gardino Nursery is because I also had purchased another Hoya Pachyclada, a very small cutting, but the plant was, I think, new growth, or that cutting was new growth. The stem was new, and then the leaves as well. The leaves were so fragile that once I opened the shipment, the leaves were falling over, and slowly they died in a couple of days. And so I was so afraid that it was going to be something like that with this purchase, but Gardino Nursery, I mean, you can always trust them to take care of your purchases. Just because, oh my gosh, I was so afraid that if I were going to pay, you know, for that Hoya Pachyclada, it's going to come and the leaves will be super thin, super fragile, and that they weren't going to last. But that's definitely not the case. Isn't she a beauty? So, you know, one leaf here was, I think, a little bit broken during shipment. So 2 leaves actually, but that's not a big deal. The plant is very healthy, and I'm just very, very excited to take care of her. Also, you can see that there is a peduncle here, down here, and then another peduncle here as well. And then another tiny little one here. So for my Hoya Pachyclada, I actually have a small little basket I bought from the Salvation Army, from the thrift store. And then isn't she a beautiful, beautiful beauty? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate your time. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'm trying to grow my channel to be 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2021.